Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Um, this was a very impromptu idea. Hey, Cash. Hey, V Morgan. Hey, Cans. Thanks for being here, guys. I didn't expect anybody really, just because it was very last minute. But in the vein of the month of October and Halloween, I was looking for something to do this morning, and I figured, well, I was going to go to the Witch's Tree in Rhode Island initially, but it's like an hour drive and I still have other stuff I got to get done today. So I figured I would just take a 15-minute ride down the road, and I would come to what they call Connecticut's own Shutter Island. I'm going to give you a view in just a minute of what this place is like. So Seaside Sanatorium. It's been around for I don't even know how long. Obviously, sanatorium and mental hospital back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. Um, at some point, I believe in like the 70s or 80s, Connecticut really stopped funding many of these mental hospitals, is what they were called back then. And the one of the largest, I think the largest in Connecticut, one of the largest in the country, was in Norwich. It was called Norwich State Mental Institution. And that thing sprawled. I mean, it took up about as much land as a Six Flags. It had buildings everywhere for acres and acres and acres, and they were all interconnected by tunnels underground. Well, Seaside was also one of those. Not as big, not nearly as big. But when that funding stopped, they shut these places down, and the people were kind of just pushed out. There weren't programs back then like readily available or easy for people to find, and so a lot of these people had nowhere to go, and they ended up on the streets, and some of them are still on the streets. As a matter of fact, Norwich still has one of the highest population of the homeless, and I think it's like about 88% of them have, underlying mental health conditions. It's because they all came from places like this and Norwich Hospital out there, and they didn't have anywhere to go, so they just stuck around. It's really sad. But if you know anything about the conditions of these institutions back then, there was very little regulation. There wasn't as strict guidelines for inspections. Getting certified wasn't a big deal. Didn't take a whole lot at all. There was not a whole lot of training and de-escalation techniques and all that stuff. And so many of these people were treated incredibly poorly. They were abused, nightmarish conditions, torturous procedures, lobotomies, and electric shock therapy. Just stuff that was straight out of a horror movie. And you can imagine what that kind of energy does to a place that's sitting kind of dying from the inside out or the outside in, depending. It sticks around, and it's usually pretty bad. It leaves an imprint that's deep, and it usually these places are wrought with tons of paranormal activity. Unfortunately, you can't get inside the buildings here. Um, they're not safe, and you'll see in a minute why. Um, there's a few in Connecticut that are supposed to be extremely haunted. This is one of them. This is supposed to be one of the top ones. There's specters and disembodied voices and apparitions and things moving with no explanation. It's a creepy place, but the one that I'm going to try to go to very soon is the Mansfield School for Boys. It's on University of Connecticut campus, go Huskies. Um, that place was one of the worst. It didn't get shut down because of funding. It got shut down because of the level of abuse that was going on there for so long. These people would sit in their own urine and feces for hours by themselves because it was overcrowded and there was understaffing. People weren't educated and trained properly. And those people who were there were looked at as like outcasts and lesser human beings. I worked in the mental health field in all aspects of it for a number of years. And you hear the stories and sometimes depending on literature in some of these places about why they shut down and what they were doing to these poor people. And I'll tell you right now, it's nightmarish. I had clients personally who went to that school, and the things, the ones who were capable of expressing themselves and speaking and all that, because there's different levels to mental health, obviously. They would tell you things about what they went through, and it just was. It was an incredible view of what this place was. Well, let's show you that view first. So now you're looking at the Thames River in Long Island Sound. Well, this is Long Island Sound. It's not the Thames River. Thames River would be over there. If you can see that ferry way off in the distance, that's heading into the Thames, the mouth of the Thames. This is Long Island Sound. And it's beautiful. I mean, this is a beautiful, gorgeous site. This beautiful beach. You have people fishing out here. You know, you get the rocks that you can go hang out on. And then you have that. That's straight out of Nightmare. I wish I could get inside. I would love to go inside and see what I can see and hear. Obviously, it's during the day. Chance for activity is lower. If I was younger, in my younger days, I'd come back here at 3 a.m. and sneak in, like I did at Norris State Hospital a few times. And each time I ended up charging out of that place as fast as I've ever ran in my life. But I'm too old to be getting arrested for trespassing. I just can't do it anymore. And I'm not running from any cops. I'm too fat. But, I mean, this is what Connecticut Shutter Island looks like from the outside. It's a pretty good nickname for it. It fits. So I have some people that I know personally who worked here for a number of years. And they would tell me stories about certain things that they would see and hear. There was a ghost that was a regular sight. It was a gentleman by the name of Frank. He was a resident here for a very long time, and he passed away. Yeah. No, I'm sorry, honey. He passed away. It was pretty traumatic circumstances. He slipped and fell and banged his head, and it was kind of due to oversight by the staff. They weren't paying attention, and he didn't make it. And so Frank hangs around. Now, there's other buildings here where the residents would live too. Yeah, Bigfoot Lake, it's creepy. I mean, it's very creepy. And the grounds are big. I mean, they're not gigantic. It's unfortunate because, okay, so this is creepy looking. This little old chessboard. That's pretty creepy. It's unfortunate. They tore down Norris State Hospital because it was dilapidated and it was an eyesore, and somebody was going to buy it, and Foxwoods was going to buy it, and they were going to turn it into a theme park. And then that fell through, and then the next investor was going to buy it and do this with it, and that fell through. It's really weird how it's a prime location on a river in between Norwich and Montville, and it would be a great place to have a theme park, or a great place to have, like an outdoor outlets or anything like that. You can do so much with it, but every single time that they try to make something of it, something happens and it falls through. So that's something to think about. Here's the back side of the building, or the left side of the building. I don't know if my service is great here. I'm out, right by the water. There's kind of nothing out here. Those windows up there are tinted in the corner. Just creepy. We're gonna walk through the covered bridge. This is a creepy little spot too. Forgive me, I am way overdressed. It was really, really chilly just an hour ago, and I threw a sweatshirt on thinking I'd be by the water, so it'd be even cooler. And it is about 72 degrees. And I'm a big guy who has a thyroid problem in a heavy hooded sweatshirt, so I'm dying right now. But all right, so let's check this out. This is quite a view. Over the years, not just like if you show yourself, I know it's a long shot. It's a place. Just so much sad history, man. As you can see, people have ripped the fencing up. I don't know. Take a look around real quick and see if I see any police. Call it Connecticut Shutter Island. Which I thought was a great.